Jefferson into the lane on Gasol. Puts the shot up and in.
Elliott, baseline. Swatted by Olajuwon. Saved by Johnson.
7. Odom defending Gasol with that sweet
for the Farmar three, but it was Pau Gasol. Mike, I don't.
To Jokic here, they do. Jokic.
The position of center has been the most prominent position in the basketball dynasties in the NBA for years. Centers play the main role in low post offense and rebounding, as well as being the key player for opponents when deciding the defensive strategies. Today in this video, I'm looking into the 10 best players to play the center position in the NBA. Before I start, here are some well-deserved honorable mentions: Dikembe Mutombo, Willis Reed, Dwight Howard, George Mikan, Nate Thurmond, Bob McAdoo, Wes Unseld, and Joel Embiid.
Ewing, yes. And the Knicks now lead 19-10. Patrick Ewing off the pass.
Patrick Ewing, in my opinion, is the best center to play for the New York Knicks, and I know Willis Reed definitely have a strong case for that with his MVP performance in 1970 finals and his 2 championships. But when you think about New York basketball and the center position, your mind goes straight to Patrick Ewing. That speaks to his dominance and skill level, which I think far surpasses Reed in my humble opinion. At his prime, Ewing competed with Shaq, Alonzo Mourning, David Robinson, and Hakeem Olajuwon for the best big man in NBA throughout 90s. 11 times All-Star, 7 All-NBA team selections, a Georgetown legend, and one of the best big men the game has ever seen.
The fake. Oh, what a move by Patrick Ewing. First he faked Royal, then cut inside. Tied for the lead on the Central. Patrick Ewing hearing the applause. 15 of 21, 32 points. And 9.
They can take the lead. Onto the rim. Robinson with a rejection. David against Charles Jones. Caps. And finally,
The Admiral David Robinson is a consistent name you'll hear when discussing these types of lists. He's an all-time great who played his position the way it meant to be played, like a calm, collected and dominant force to be reckoned with on a basketball court. He played his whole career in San Antonio Spurs jersey and brought 2 championships to the city. A 10 times All-Star, a Defensive Player of the Year, 10 All-NBA teams, multiple defensive teams, and he's one of the only few players to actually score a quadruple-double in a game. That stat line was 34 points, 10 rebounds, 10 assists and 10 blocks against the Detroit Pistons on February 17, 1994. He's also one of the only 8 players to score more than 70 points in a game, which he did against LA Clippers in April 24, 1994.
trying to finish off the Pistons with just over 3 to go. He's over 30 now with 31. Haley replaces David Robinson.
Tell you what.
Big hand. And it's not for Jack.
Folks, get a look at that, because I don't know if you'll see that again.
38 points here in the third quarter. They've cut it to 11. Jokic just gets it off in time. It's up. Oh, it's good. Of course it goes in. This is ridiculous.
Although he is still currently playing for the Denver Nuggets, there is no denying the absolute greatness and skill level of Nikola Jokic. Jokic, although not a great defensive player, but he knows how to use his size for defense. He more than makes up for it on the offensive end. A triple-double machine. His biggest asset as a player is his passing ability and his remarkable basketball IQ, while he still can give you a 40 a night if he really wants to. NBA champion, Finals MVP, 2 times back-to-back MVP, a 5 times NBA All-Star, and 5 All-NBA team selections. And he's more than likely going to increase those achievements. And without much contention, he's by far the best passing center ever to play the game of basketball.
Three. Oh, he knocks it down. Shot clock at 4. Jokic has to put it up. Falling away, puts it up. Bang! Nikola! That's a tough shot. How about that?
I mean, he's
Ball
made.
cocked behind his head like that.
He made the one in what, game 2?
Yep.
Same thing.
Robert Reed to Billy Pulse. Rebound is, rather should say, rejected by Parrish. And that here is Ford out to Archibald. There's a draw, in other words. Here's Robert Parrish against Malone. Tough shot. Score 640.
The Chief, Robert Parrish, was one of the most feared centers of his time. With his long stature, good shooting ability, and incredible speed, it was pretty hard to contain Parrish on a basketball court. Alongside Kevin McHale and Larry Bird, they formed a front court which was later called the greatest front court of all time. Robert Parrish played for 4 teams, but is mostly known for his time in Celtics jersey. He's a 4 times NBA champion and 9 times NBA All-Star. A hard-working, dependable, consistent 7-foot wall, Parrish still holds the record for the most games played ever by a player in NBA, a record 1,611 games played.
Years winning 3
NBA titles as a member of the Boston Celtics. He's playing an NBA record 21st season. He's the all-time leader in games played. And at 43, Robert Parrish, the oldest player currently in the NBA.
He's averaging almost 16 rebounds a game. He's the best offensive rebounder I've ever seen.
Watch the speed. My goodness.
Oh, Moses Malone on the follow. He's too far under and really hit the bottom of the rim going out.
Now here's probably the most underrated GOAT center of all time, late great Moses Malone. He played 19 amazing years for both the ABA and NBA. He's known for his relentless nature on basketball court, especially in rebounding the basketball. He recorded 6 times leading the league in rebounds, of which 5 of them were straight back-to-back years. He played for many teams, but he's most notably known for his time in Philadelphia 76ers jersey and his contributions in bringing the 1983 NBA championship, where he was also the finals MVP. He's a 3 times regular season MVP, 12 times NBA All-Star, 6 times rebounding champion, and one of the greatest players to play the center position.
There he goes up, double pump, scores, and he's fouled.
Bobby Jones will put it in play. Does to Malone. Moses, 2.
Like to run. They kill it. No foul. And McRae down by Elijah.
Hakeem the Dream Olajuwon is in the contention for the most skilled center to ever play the game of basketball.
Olajuwon, I believe, got a block.
He played for 2 teams in the NBA, Houston Rockets and Toronto Raptors. He was an amazing defender, recording huge numbers in rebounds and blocks, and he was also a great offensive center. His post moves were so elite and perfect that it is still being taught to the upcoming basketball generations. He's a 2 times NBA champion and a finals MVP, 12 times NBA All-Star, 12 times All-NBA team selections, and also a 2 times Defensive Player of the Year. He led the league in rebounding twice and blocks 3 times in his career, and currently holds the all-time blocks record with 3,830 blocks, and is one of the only 4 NBA players to record a quadruple-double. He truly was a complete basketball player and a great center.
Olajuwon. Timeout Spurs. Hakeem Olajuwon is playing.
Lakers maintain possession. Followed by Russell. The Celtics 28 with a minute. There was Russell blocking the shot.
Bill Russell is a true definition of being a great person, champion, and of course a player. He's an 11 times NBA champion, 5 times NBA MVP, 12 times NBA All-Star, 11 All-NBA team selections, and also a 4 times rebounding champion. He was one of the first players to revolutionize the defensive part of the game. He won those accolades because of his defensive abilities and is considered one of the greatest defenders to play the game of basketball. His accolades are legendary, and it also becomes a reason why people underrate him for the era he played in. Still, it does not give justice to how great of a center he was. One of the most humble person and one of the best center of all time.
Russell walked away from his final game a winner.
Chris, I'm here with Bill Russell. Bill, this must have been a great win for you.
Exactly.
Right on in. Back to live action as Chamberlain turns and goes to the basket. Right on it. Look at that.
Alongside Bill Russell, Wilt Chamberlain were the 2 greatest centers for a long time without too much contention. Every other center on this list have learned a thing or two from these 2 centers. Wilt was the first anomaly of his kind. He was fast, tall, strong, and incredibly athletic for his size. There's only 1 or 2 players who can compare Wilt to. He was a monster on the court, scoring 100 points once in a game. He averaged insane numbers, once averaging 30 points and 20 rebounds for a season. I'll have to make another video just to mention all of them records. He's a 2 times NBA champion, a finals MVP, a 13 times NBA All-Star, and 4 times NBA MVP. A monster at a center position, and his imprint on center position can be seen in each era of basketball since.
Give it to West. Missed the shot. Goodrich the rebound. Missed the shot. Chamberlain missed.
Yep.
Against Dudley. Nice.
And Dikembe did everything he could. That's just a brilliant move by an amazing basketball player.
Can't score. Ball knocked away.
Shaq, the Diesel, the Big Aristotle, Shaquille O'Neal have so many nicknames, but one word has been consistent in describing him, that is dominant. He is widely regarded as the greatest center of all time and most certainly the most dominant center of all time. He is a 4 times NBA champion and 3 times finals MVP, a 1 time regular season MVP, 15 times NBA All-Star, 14 All-NBA team selections. He is also a 2 times scoring champion of the league. He ranks 8th all times in points scored, 6th in field goals, 15th in rebounds, and 8th in blocks. Shaq also ranks 3rd all-time in field goal percentage and led the league in field goal percentage 10 times. He played for several teams, but mostly is remembered for his time in Orlando Magic, Lakers, and Heat jersey. Even when he came in the league as a rookie, he quickly became one of the best centers in the league at the time when center position was packed with names like Ewing, Hakeem, Mourning and David Robinson. And still Shaq quickly became one of the best among those centers. There's one thing about Shaq that separates him from every other center in history, is that when he was at his prime, there was no stopping him from dominating the game.
Lead that series 2-1. The ball under the Shaq. Slam dunk. The same thing. Lob under the Shaq. Slam dunk. Oh! He went up over the 7-6 Bradley. That had nothing to do with Caldwell Jones on Abdul-Jabbar, who hits the skyhook.
It's going to do because when he does that.
Back quickly into Abdul-Jabbar. Skyhook and finger roll.
An elbow right in the neck area. It doesn't feel too good.
Here's Kareem coming back on Clifford Ray. Now Kareem's got 4 fouls. What a play!
When it comes to Kareem, there's no disputing his greatness. He was successful at each level he played basketball in, from high school to college to the NBA. Kareem only played for 2 teams in his entire career, the Milwaukee Bucks and LA Lakers, and he brought championships to the both cities. He's a 6-time NBA champion and 2 times Finals MVP, 6 times regular season MVP, 19 All-Star selections and 15 All-NBA team selections. He also held the record for the most points in NBA for 38 years, after which it was broken by LeBron James in 2023. He is 3rd in both most rebounds and blocks made all time. He's had an unbreakable game for his prime. Only few people have matched equal against Kareem on a basketball court. He's had the most unguardable shot in the history, the skyhook, and a great basketball player on both ends of the court. He's one of the greatest players to play the game of basketball, and is the best center of all time.
He's so afraid of the skyhook, he challenges him for it, and a nice roll move by
Scott looks inside to Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, takes it in there, he dribbles around Eaton, beautifully slam dunk.
Just get set. You have to use quickness while he's leaning on you, and he doesn't react as well. The next time, he'll be back off of Kareem maybe, and Kareem will be able to get up.
That's the video. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe and comment for future content.
They'll get it to Murray. 30 seconds. Jokic, then a little hesitation. Puts it in. And he's fouled.